Hello, my name is Charles Ardinger, and I'll be working with you as your instructor in the English 100 course you're about to start. I wanted to make this brief introductory video to, well, introduce myself, and also to introduce aspects of the class that you might find useful to know about as we continue. So, first, let me continue introducing myself. My name, again, is Charles Ardinger. Hello. I've been working here at Coastline since 2013, starting in the Student Success Department and eventually becoming an instructor specializing in English 100 classes. So I think you're in pretty good hands. I also want to point out that I have a particular interest in English grammar. I love talking about English grammar. I very much enjoy, indeed, answering questions about it. So if you have any questions about English grammar, please don't hesitate to ask me, either through email or in one of the other ways we'll be talking about in this video. So that's a little bit about me. I'll be learning more about you, of course, through your writing as we continue. And now I'd like to show you some aspects of our course that will help you navigate as we keep going. And these aspects start at our class's front page, or home page, or landing page. I don't know the exact term because I'm not a computer science major, but these seem to fit the page we're looking at, our class's front page. You'll notice that it has the class's name on it, the class's number, a little logo I made, and a picture of me. Also, I want to point out that it includes, along the right side of the page here, and down the center of the page here, a schedule. You notice it's a list of assignments and the dates on which those assignments are due. This means that as we continue, if you want to know what you're doing at any particular point in class, just look at the front page. Look at the date that you're, currently living in and see which assignment is due next. And that way you can more easily manage your time, which is an important skill in online classes. We're very much on our own in these classes in terms of meeting deadlines. So any time management tricks that you can pick up will help you greatly. Now, this is kind of a way for us to communicate. A better way comes through what you'll find at the top of the page, these announcements. I'll be posting an announcement of this kind once or twice a week, and you can pick up valuable tips by looking at them. The way to do that is to go to the title of the announcement here and click it, which will lead you to a page that looks like this. On this page, I have made a sample announcement, which, if you want, you can pause the video and read at your leisure. It says basically what I'm telling you here, that I will post these announcements once or twice a week, that these announcements will discuss things that I see in class, or issues of grammar, or of presentation, or something that I see in my life that seems to relate to what we're doing in class. Now, I won't necessarily be quizzing on the content of these announcements, but I think you can help yourself greatly by looking at them, by reading them, and taking into consideration what they have to say about what our class is doing. I think they can be very useful in terms of getting advice. And as I say, that's one way of communicating between you and me. Another way of communicating is through what happens with your assignments. Each assignment, of course, will receive a grade. This is a class. But I also want to point out the kinds of feedback that I can offer with the assignments that you give me. So by going to grades and seeing a page that looks like this, you notice another list of assignments and due dates, and indeed this assignment seems to have been completed. So, let's take a look at what a completed assignment looks like for you, and how you can benefit by what I do when I get assignments. So let's click the name of the assignment so that we can get to a page that looks like this. 3 things are of note on this page. First, there is a comment, Then there is a link that says Show Rubric. Then there is a link that says View Feedback. Now, for every assignment, you'll see a comment of this kind. I'll tell you through these comments what I see in your assignments, how I respond to what you've written, and give you advice on how to refine your writing to make it more academic seeming as we keep going. As writers, we can always use more advice on how to refine what we're doing. So these comments can be very helpful to you as we keep going. Also, I will grade your assignment with a rubric. A rubric is a list of criteria that I've assigned point values to help me give your assignment a grade. So when you click the Show Rubric link, like this, you will see the rubric, this chart, with criteria and point values, depending on how well the student fulfilled the criteria. You'll notice that this student did quite well on the first one and the second one, but not as well as possible on the third one. Notice that this criterion only gets the 3 points. This means that the student can look at the rubric, notice the problem with this particular skill, and make adjustments for their next assignment. And then we can make the rubric go away again by pressing this X, so that we can see this link that says View Feedback. By pressing this link, we'll create a little copy of the submission you made, as if it were showing you the paper that you sent to me if you were sending me papers. You'll notice that you can see on this little copy 2 kinds of annotations. These annotations are as if I have written on your paper and have advice for you about, say, the grammar I see or something that I don't quite understand in a sentence. So I can make these annotations either by these notes in purple between the typed lines of text, or I can make a highlighted annotation, which is this highlighted area, which leads to a typed annotation, a typed sentence or two, explaining why I marked that particular part of your paper. Again, I'll use this for grammar advice or for questions about sentences that I don't understand or things that don't seem to fit into the more general comments. So again, when you look for feedback on your work, following the grades link, following the title of the assignment, you'll see a comment, you'll see a rubric, and you'll see the annotated feedback at the View Feedback link. And these are ways that I can communicate with you about how I think your work is going, about what I see in your work, about what I'd like to see in your work. But I think that I can find a better way to communicate with you more directly. So you'll notice that under this beautiful picture of your professor back in his college days, there is a student visiting time. For this class, it's on Thursdays between 1830 and 2000, or 6:30 and 8 p.m. if you don't like military time. This is a Zoom meeting, so when you click this link, you'll go to my Zoom office where I will be, and we can chat about whatever you might have on your mind. We might talk about issues you see in class. You might have questions about an assignment. You might just be wondering what's going on in the world. You might want to talk about your feelings. I'm okay with that. We can chat about anything you like. This is an informal, optional, non-mandatory conversation that, if you notice in your syllabus, can get you extra credit points for attending. So we can get together on Thursdays between 6:30 and 8 p.m. and have these conversations. If that's not a convenient time for you, let me know, and I will try to arrange other times to meet with you so that you can get whatever benefit you can out of these informal getting-togethers. Finally, I would like to point out these optional grammar refresher modules. Again, these are not mandatory. They just might be useful for you if you want to brush up areas of your grammar, such as sentence variety, or how to use commas, or parallel structure, things like that. Of course, you can also always email me to ask questions. I really like that. And you can also suggest topics that other students might find useful for these kind of refresher modules. I hope that you'll find this class interactive in that way. And so, the schedule, the announcements, the feedback, and the student visiting time are all ways that we can communicate as teacher and student. And that's pretty much what I wanted to say about our class's home page. So, I'd like to finish this video by saying thank you. First, I'd like to thank you for enrolling in the class. Without students, there wouldn't be any need for a class, and without this class, there wouldn't be much need for me. So, thank you for helping me keep my job. I also want to thank you for asking questions. I hope you'll do a lot of it. I need feedback in the same way that you do, because I don't always know when I'm not making sense. So when a student asks me questions, this gives me an opportunity to clarify what I'm saying and to make more sense, which is a big goal of mine as an instructor. And lastly, I would like to thank you sincerely for your time and your patience.